Nestled along the banks of the Ohio River in the quiet beauty of Wayne County lies a town with a story as enduring as the hills that surround it, the town of Cerrito, West Virginia. Founded in 1857 with a vision of unity, progress, and freedom, Cerrito was more than just a settlement. It was a bold social experiment, carried forward by generations of proud, hardworking people. Through the decades, Cerrito has witnessed the tides of history, from early days of the Underground Railroad to the growth of the coal industry's boom to the quiet resilience of small-town life today. Each chapter has left its mark, not just in records and photographs, but in the spirit of its community. In this special interview, we sit down with local voices, storytellers, historians, and lifelong residents to explore the rich tapestry of Cerrito's past. We'll uncover the moments that shaped the town, the people who stood at its heart, and the legacy that continues to guide it forward. Join us now as we journey through time and memory, celebrating the proud heritage of Cerrito, West Virginia, a town built on purpose, preserved by pride, and remembered through stories.
Welcome to our next segment of Wondering About Cerrito Canova, and we have a guest today, a very accomplished person and resident of Canova and a business person in Cerrito, and that's Dan Ferguson. Dan, we want to welcome you.
Thank you so much.
It's great to have you here, and you've been involved in many aspects of the development, business-wise, otherwise with Cerrito Canova. You graduated from Wayne High School, West Virginia University with a dual degrees of business and music. You were a longtime director of the choir at the First Baptist Church of Canova. You own Dan Ferguson Music. You built many apartments. You've been the driving force behind the CK Area Business Association's inception. And we're pleased to have you here, but I want to start out with asking you about your early life. You were growing up in Wayne.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, I grew up in Wayne, over in Spunky. That's South Wayne, and had a great time there. Schooling, I walked to the elementary school every day, which was quite a long walk, and then I got to go to Olive West High School, which was Wayne High School, up on the hill, and these were good times. I got to play basketball for 4 years, and had a good time there before I went on to Morgantown.
And you were in the grade school band.
We had a grade school band. I remember the uniforms. They were green and white. The uniforms were green and white, and it was a pretty good sized band, really, like 40 or 50 kids, and.
You might not want to mention
nice.
those colors very much.
Well, so it
then,
was a good time.
After graduation from Wayne High School, you went on to WVU, but tell me a little bit about your family growing up in Wayne, your parents, and what they did.
My father worked for the N&W, and it was right here. He came to Canova every day, and he was in charge of N&W between Portsmouth and Williamson, and he was a great man. He was always on time. He was always on time to make sure that everything was smooth for his work and the people around him. He was a great man.
How early would he get up for work?
He would leave Wayne at 6 o'clock. Now he went to work at 8 o'clock. You say, what do you do for 2 hours? Only took 30 minutes to get to Canova. But my dad said, what if I have a flat tire? It was nothing. You had to be at work on time. It didn't make any difference what happened in life. Your work on time.
And how did he, during his work day, how did he get around the route that he oversaw?
He had a motor car.
Can you describe what that was?
A motor car was probably the size of a desk. 2 people can sit in it, and it operates and it operates rail. You could take it on and off the rail. So if you knew that either 15 or 16 was coming, why, you could stop, set it off the rail, and then after it passes, set it back on.
And so there was a very strict time schedule for the trains at that time, so that he wasn't caught on the tracks when a train was coming. He knew.
Not only to the minute, but to the half minute.
That's great. That's somewhat absent today, isn't it? Well, then, after your graduation from high school, why did you choose West Virginia University? Was it their music program, their business program, or just the state university?
No, it was the music school. It was brand new building, brand new everything, and that appealed to me, and so I wanted to go to Morgantown to get a degree.
Were you having a personal preference for the piano, or what instrument, or?
Well, I did a little bit of both because I really wasn't very good at it. I majored in French horn. And my minor was in piano. So I was trying to find something to work.
And was that where you met your wife?
That's where I met my wife.
What
Yeah.
year of your time at Morgantown?
My third year, and then I came to Marshall to finish my last year because I was given the opportunity to come to First Baptist Church at Canova and do the music, and it was very exciting, and it was a great opportunity. It was a great opportunity because during that time, choirs were good. I mean, choirs were big, and we had choirs up of 80 to 100 people.
And I recall that, and the quality of the musicians and the performers was wonderful. In fact, name some of the more notable people that came through your direction there at the choir.
Well, of course, everyone knows Michael W. Smith. Of course, he was there during that time, and Judy Skeens went on to sing in the Metropolitan Opera, and so we were very blessed to have some real people of notoriety.
And a couple that I recall too were Benny Key and Robert Mullins were very
Right.
accomplished as well.
Right.
But then you don't recall how many years you might have directed that choir?
About 20.
About 20. And you had a youth choir that you
Yes.
directed as well. Tell
Yeah,
us a
we
little
toured
bit
all
about
over. We toured all over the country, and military bases. Probably the most impressionable is we did one or two tours of military bases when things military wise was kind of tough, and things were very tense.
That was during the Vietnam era, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was a great experience, and it was a great experience for all of our kids. It was good.
Do you have much contact with any of the kids that went
I
through
do.
the program?
I do. Yeah, there's not a week goes by that I don't hear from two or three of them.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the things that I have always known. My dad always referred to you as the greatest promoter in the history of Cerrito Canova, because any project you became involved with succeeded, you organized it, and you promoted it well. And I know from knowing many of the people that went through your program, they were blessed by your leadership. And your minor, or was it your major, business?
Yes.
Led to other ventures for yourself. And one of the things that I think you're notable for is you built many housing units
Yes.
in Cerrito Canova.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit, how did you get started doing that?
Well, we started we built a 4-unit. We just wanted to give this thing a try, and we built a little 4-unit down on Oak Street, and that just kind of opened the door, and then we just maybe a lot would become available here in a nice little area there, and so we picked that up and doing it. No, and I had a great carpenter. Many people who will hear this will remember the name Cecil Brown. Cecil Brown was a one-man operation. He was
a prisoner of war.
He was prisoner of war, and so you didn't mess with him. You just did what he said, and so. But he was a one-man builder. You know, a couple of buildings down on Chestnut, are 3-story. He built those by himself. 3-story, straight up. He put every 2x4, every 2x8, he put in there by himself. Never seen it done before.
I knew
Ever.
him personally because he remodeled our pharmacy and our house. And Dad told me the story about how Cecil, because of his war experiences, had a touchy personality, and you didn't cross him. He got angry easily. Well, he had stretched a 2x12 across a counter in the pharmacy and was working on the ceiling, and it bowed in the center, and it had touched the top of the Gillette shaving can, and it was shooting shaving cream across the pharmacy. Dad ran out there to tell him, Cecil, and Cecil turned at him with a hammer.
Yeah.
And it was like, please don't hit me, you're shooting shaving cream. And he laughed about it. But another story about Cecil that I recall was the great rivalry between Buffalo and CK High School's football programs. Led to long lines of traffic out towards Buffalo High School. He lived in the turn there, and he didn't want anyone parking in front of his house. Well, a CK fan parked in front of his house one time, and during the game, Cecil noticed it, went out there and broke every window in his car with a 2x4. No. Well, when the guy got back, the game was over. He saw his car has been vandalized. He knocked on Cecil's door and asked him, did you see who did that to my car? And Cecil pulled a pistol up and he said, I did. And the guy said, I love it. It's just fine. But Cecil was an amazing person.
Unbelievable.
He was a carpenter that went in advance of the Army building bridges and things, and was captured by the Germans, had a very rough experience, but a tremendously talented person. Well, do you know of any other characters that you recall in town that might conjure up a story?
Oh, I think he comes in at number 1. I think he comes in at number 1.
But you were telling me about Penny's Restaurant.
Yes.
That was a common gathering place. Where was that located?
That was downstairs. The restaurant was downstairs on Chestnut Street, about where the sports shop is now. I might have missed it 1 or 2 doors, but I'm not sure exactly which one it was.
And would they serve lunch and dinner, or all 3 meals?
Yes. My father had breakfast there in the mornings at like 6:30 or so.
And any other notable businesses that you recall that came and went during your time here? I remember, some that I think of as like Lohr's Furniture and Cooksy's Department Store, but we grew up in a small town. And what was that experience like for you, both at Wayne and here, where you knew your neighbors, you walked where you wanted to go, and especially during the period of your youth, your early youth, which was during World War II?
Right.
Do you recall anything like rationing or the difficulty of getting supplies?
I do remember rationing, and I remember the little books and the little coupons. Yeah.
For everything from groceries
Yeah,
to gasoline.
right.
Gasoline
Right.
especially was
Right,
at a
gasoline,
premium.
right.
And well, did you, when you became director of the music program at the First Baptist Church, did you immediately see and generate a rise in the size of the choir and the participation of people? Because your personality is such that people wanted to be part of your programs. How was the choir when you started? Was it a small?
Well, there wasn't any to start with. But here's the way I figured it out. I started out, I said, if I get 2 members off the football team, get 2 members from the basketball team, get 3 or 4 from the band, everybody else will come along.
That's great.
Everybody else, because everybody wants to be with number 1. Everybody wants to be with the number 1. So, there they came.
That's great. Well, and what about the development too of the Cerrito Plaza, which at one time
Yes.
had been a golf course and
Yes.
the drive-in?
Yes.
Were you involved in that process?
I was. Floyd Stark and I bought the golf course and the property from his dad. And we met with him, and as about it, he said, "Boys, you're going to lose your shirt. You're going to lose your shirt, boys." I said, "Well, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try." And so we start from there, and the first, it looked pretty good. I mean, what they developed looked very nice for this area. It looked very nice for this area. And then, of course, also, we added the ballpark to it, too, adjoining there, the Little League Park.
Right.
We gave that to the city and moved on with that. And that's always, they've worked so hard with that they've always made that successful.
Well, and then what about your Dan Ferguson Music? Your business there, I don't think people of our area realize that you had contacts with notable people and sold them pianos and other instruments. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was very lucky to be able to. One good contact was the fact of people that I had gone to school with, and musicians that had graduated from Marshall, West Virginia, and so we ended up doing business with every college in West Virginia, and a lot in Ohio, and a lot in Kentucky. We covered 3 states.
So it wasn't just pianos; it was other
Right,
instruments
right.
as well.
Right.
And and I'm going to tell you something that you may not remember, but when I was about 19 years old, I went to your business and I bought for my girlfriend a little portable record player. That it would play.
Yeah.
And I didn't have enough money, and you gave me credit on that. I can remember I almost cried because I was, it was the reality of growing up and how much things cost. And did I ever pay you back what I owed you?
Surely you did, or I'd have been after
You would have found me. But that was something too, that with your business experiences, you became very active with Cerrito Bank as well.
Yes.
In what capacity did you serve the bank?
Well, I was on the board. I was on the board of the bank, and then of course when Floyd Stark retired, I was made president for until we sold out to the present owner of the bank.
And when that happened, you also at that time you did a development up near the Ramsdell House, and how was your relationship with Cerrito, with the Ramsdell House now, which is a wonderful historic
Yes.
location?
Well, that was, that was a unique experience because we wanted to make sure that the property, we were told that there was a possibility that people could have been buried there. And so we went to all the extent of having all that whole lot, we had it opened up, and to make sure that there were no bodies there. And then we built apartment building on the property.
Okay, and did you own the Ramsdell House at that time?
Yes. Yes.
And how did it get deeded to the town of Cerrito?
Well, no, Floyd was also a half owner in that, and so we just decided that we need to give it to the city.
Well, it's a wonderful historic monument here in this community with a very rich history. Tell me a little bit about your relationship and what was like working with Floyd Stark.
Floyd Stark was a thought. He was always thinking. He was always thinking ahead. And if anyone ever was dedicated to the city, that man was dedicated to the city. He gave. He not only gave, but he gave from his personal pocketbook. He gave all the time, and so, as the saying goes, Floyd was the giver, not a taker.
Well, he was, much like yourself, a person of vision. What he saw for the future of the community, the bank, the Little League, the field house, everything in this community has his thumbprint on it when it comes to sports and recreation and just the enjoyment of being in Cerrito Canova. And so, when did you close your business and sell the Dan Ferguson music?
Well, it's been some time now, but I really I sold it to Dick Lucas. Dick Lucas was an employee and a great personality. If anyone ever had a great personality to deal with people, it was Dick Lucas. And to this day, I hear from him at least once a week. Good relationship.
That's wonderful.
Good relationship.
Do you have any other thoughts or recollections of our community? You were involved with both Cerrito and Canova. Your family, you moved here. When did you move to Cerrito Canova?
I came to Canova in 1957.
During your senior year at WVU, finished at Marshall.
Yeah.
When did you marry?
59.
And
59.
Was your first house out on Barger Hill, or
No,
was it
Walnut Street?
really?
Walnut Street, yeah. Yeah. There were 3 new houses. Bill Sutherland built three houses. And I got one of those. 12-9. 12-9. And then we added on the carport, and that was another $1,500. So, brand new house, new lot, less than $15,000.
How did you end up out on the hill?
The opportunity came. And it was going to become for sale. Early on, when I was a pup, a real small pup, I came to that house for a family reunion, when Dr. Rife
Yes.
was there, because Dr. Rife, he developed the hill, and he and then the Hamers were next. So it was. I was very lucky. I went to a family reunion there, and I thought, man, I'd like to leave here sometime. So we've added on about 6 times, and
Sound like Thomas Jefferson.
it's been fun. Still enjoy it every day.
Well, I'll tell you a story about you had a youth group party at your house when I was in high school, and we were playing volleyball in your front yard there, and it was near dark. And the girl, I was in the back row, and the girl in front of me apparently had a hair extension or a fall or whatever they call it, and it was just about dark, and I hit the ball, and it hit her in the back of the hair, and we could just barely see. Well, that hairpiece fell out on the ground, and I thought it was an animal that came out of the bushes, and I stomped on it. And she cried and ran into your house, and I don't think we ever spoke again after that. But what about some other personalities from the church, from the community, that you find notable that you worked with or influenced your life?
Well, we've had, fortunately, with my station, with the church, we've had some very, very top flight people to come in and be a part, and have encouraged our attendance. One Easter, we established a record. We had 1,049 people come to Sunday school. 1,049 people came to Sunday school.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another personal story of mine is my aunt, Kathleen Carpenter. We called her Mama E, could not sing at all. It was painful to listen to, but she loved it and she wanted to praise God. Well, we had a junior high classroom, and we would meet in a group and then go to individual classrooms. And she was up there with someone was playing the piano, and she wanted someone to suggest a hymn for us to sing before we went into our class. And nobody wanted to do that. And that was my aunt, and I loved her. And I thought she was like a person up on stage dying in front of a crowd, because she kept saying, "Come on, pick something." So I said, just off the top of my head, hymn 222. And she said, "Okay." And we sang that. It was "Jesus Is All the World to Me." And she thought that was my favorite hymn. And so every time I came back from either the Army or college, she made, probably you, change the program, and we sang "Jesus Is All the World to Me." I never told her that I just picked a number, but it's become one of my favorite hymns because of my love for her. But you served in that church with many wonderful people, dedicated, and it was, as my father said, it was largely your promotional skills and your leadership, and like I say, not just musicians, but individuals that came. I remember even preachers that would come, like Bascom Lakin, well-known evangelists from across the country would come, and there would be. I've always joked about this too. We Christians need revivals rather often. But there were some great revivals there too.
Yes.
And you would be at the forefront of the music that was a big part of the draw to people to come there. Okay, do you have any other things that you'd like to share with us that about your experiences raising your family and living here and being a business person? What has it been? What has your life been like for you to grow up at Wayne and move to Cerrito Canova and spend your entire life of service here?
I've been blessed. I've been blessed. I was fortunate. I've been fortunate to be so-called at the right place at the right time. And I was been able to be associated with the best, all along the way. And I've always told everybody, I can honestly tell you, I've never been to work a day in my life. I've never been to work a day. Every day has been fun.
That's great.
Every day's been fun. Yep, still is.
Well, and you're still, just like with the CK area, you know, you stepped down from your leadership role in the CK Area Business Association, but you're still the person that gets everyone there. You give me a call every month to remind me when the meeting is, and I'm a man who needs prompting. But Dan, we thank you. You are one of the people that I think I've told you this before. My mom taught me to have heroes, not stars, not athletes, but heroes at home, and you're one of mine.
Thank you
and
so
it's
much.
great to have you here and to have you share these stories.
Thank you so
Dan.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. And it's great to have you all watching this, and we're hoping to let this program grow and get more stories about Sarita Canova. Thank you, Dan.
It's a pleasure.